Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope everything's going well with you and your family. Um, hey, I want to take a minute today to share with you a little bit of my story. So I grew up in the 70s, like some of you, and as a young boy and then turning into a young man throughout the 70s, I had dreams and I had passions, I had desires, things that I wanted to be, things that I wanted to do. And like so many other young men, there was a time when I wanted to be a professional football player. My hero, my role model was Terry Bradshaw. He was the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he had grown up in Northwest Louisiana, not far from where I had grown up and where I lived. And he was my role model. I would watch him and study him, and then I would go out in the yard as a young boy, and I would take that football every day after school, and I would throw that football, and I would try to stand like Terry Bradshaw, try to throw like Terry Bradshaw, and even to run like Terry Bradshaw, just to be like Terry Bradshaw. It was a dream. Later in the early 80s, as I tracked through high school, there was a few other people in my life that inspired me to want to be a doctor. And so I found myself at LSU in 1984, and my very first class at LSU was zoology. It was part of the microbiology pre-med program, and so zoology. And I found out very quickly, probably in that first week, that I wasn't cut out to be a doctor. I wasn't smart enough to do this curriculum, and so I found myself back home, disappointed and let down. I had some dreams, and I wasn't able to realize them. And then it happened in my early 20s that through some toxic relationships and some volatile environments that I found myself very derailed, very off track. I had lost my passion, I had lost my dreams, and I'd lost really hope. And I was just kind of floundering out there. And for many years, I lived a life that was very destructive. So mid-20s, I got saved, and things changed immediately for me. And a scripture that really, really impacted me early on and has continued to guide me and inspire me in my adult life comes from Hebrews chapter 12. I'd love to read it to you today. It's Hebrews 12:2 in the Message paraphrase. It says, keep your eyes on Jesus. Big deal right here. Remember, I was keeping my eyes on my heroes, keeping my eyes on those that inspired me. This is a scripture here that inspires me today even. Keep your eyes on Jesus, who both began and finished this race we're in. Study how he did it, because he never lost sight of where he was headed, that exhilarating finish in and with God. He could put up with anything along the way, cross, shame, whatever. And now he's there in the place of honor right alongside God. I tell you, when you have had your dreams and your passions and your desires crushed and taken from you, and you've found yourself derailed, and you've lost sight of why you exist, you've lost sight of something that you are living for, it's a terrible place to be. Yet, when we turn our eyes to Jesus, and we keep our eyes on Jesus, like the scripture says, who went through everything we've ever been through. He had the struggle, and the struggle for him was just as real as it is for all of us. Yet he overcame. He never lost sight. And so, though I may have lost sight, and I still have the pull, the propensity to lose sight today, and you, no matter what your story is, no matter what you've been through or where you've been in life, and all the toxic relationships and all of the trauma that you've been through, no matter what it has happened to you that has caused you to lose sight, you can put your eyes on Jesus, the one who never lost sight, who's been through it all. And he can bring you along. He can refocus you on what really matters. He can heal you of your hurts, of your pain, of all those things that keep you from living, truly living. He can heal you of all these things and set your feet on solid ground. He can put you on a path to live your life to glorify God, and of course in our lives to be fruitful as well. I would encourage you, maybe jump into Hebrews 12:2 and read that scripture through a few times. Let it inspire you. Let it motivate you to dream again, to have passion, to keep your eyes on what really, really matters. I'd love to hear if you have a story, maybe similar, or if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, which is great as well. I'd love to hear from you. If you take the time, if you watch this whole video, take the time down in the comments just to maybe type out your story. It can be the brief version, but just let me know you've got a story too, and Jesus has set you free, or He's healed you, or He's refocused you, or of course, if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, we got to unite and cheer on our team. But drop it down in the comments, and love you guys so much. Hope this inspires you. Hope it encourages you as well. Have a great day.